Ferrari continues the strong form at the postseason test. Yuki has a golden opportunity to join Red Bull, and Antonelli is now ready for the 2025 season. Do consider subscribing to the channel. Let's get into the latest F1 news. Yuki Tsunoda finds himself in a precarious position as he faces the possibility of missing out on a Red Bull seat in 2025. With Liam Lawson emerging as a top contender for the role, Tsunoda's prospects within the team appear increasingly limited. Despite his efforts, a promotion remains out of reach. In recent developments, Lawson's arrival at V-Carb during the American Grand Prix positioned him favorably to take Sergio Perez's spot. Meanwhile, Christian Horner, Red Bull's team principal, has expressed clear reservations about promoting Tsunoda. His influence has grown, and he sees Lawson as a driver with the potential to excel and elevate the team's performance. Notably, Tsunoda has been used as a benchmark by Red Bull to assess Lawson's capabilities. It reflects a broader strategy within the team, as Tsunoda unfortunately was never at the top of their list for the upcoming season. This dynamic paints a challenging picture for Tsunoda, who is now in a position where he is more of a reference point for evaluating other drivers rather than a serious candidate for partnership with Max Verstappen. Prior to Lawson's debut, Horner hinted at his preference for the Kiwi. His comments indicated that while Tsunoda had shown improvement, the real excitement was around how Lawson would adapt to the pressure of F1. It was clear that Red Bull's hierarchy saw value in using Tsunoda as a measuring stick for others rather than envisioning him in a prominent future role. While some might argue that Tsunoda was never truly in contention, there existed a scenario where, if Lawson struggled, Tsunoda could step in as a viable option. However, this outcome seemed unlikely from the outset. The experience gap between the two drivers meant that Lawson was not only expected to keep pace with Tsunoda, but also aim for upward trajectory, exhibiting the potential that would justify Horner's confidence in him. This brings us to a critical point. Tsunoda's situation can be viewed as a lose-lose scenario. Red Bull has historically been a tough environment for driver development, and Tsunoda could find himself stuck, unable to break through the glass ceiling that seems to loom over him. With expectations set so high for Lawson, any shortfall from the Kiwi could still leave Tsunoda waiting on the sidelines. In summary, Yuki Tsunoda's path with Red Bull illustrates the harsh realities faced by drivers in competitive environments. As new talents emerge and team dynamics shift, veteran drivers can often find themselves unable to advance within their teams. For Tsunoda, the coming months will be pivotal as he navigates his future in Formula One, all while looking for any opportunity to prove his worth amidst the shifting tides of Red Bull racing. In the intense world of Formula One, competition at Red Bull Racing has reached a fever pitch. Yuki Tsunoda entered the season under the shadow of expectations for his new teammate, Nyck de Vries. Many, including Red Bull advisor Helmut Marko, anticipated that de Vries would emerge as the team's leading driver. However, the reality unfolded differently. To everyone's surprise, Tsunoda showcased an impressive performance, often outpacing de Vries. The narrative, however, did not shift in Tsunoda's favor. Instead of receiving accolades or a potential promotion within the team, the focus turned to de Vries's underwhelming results. This scrutiny ultimately led to the decision to bring in Daniel Ricciardo midway through the season, a bold move indicating the high stakes at play. Ricciardo, a veteran with an illustrious career, faced his own set of challenges upon his return. Even though he had moments of brilliance reminiscent of his past, he too struggled to match Tsunoda's scoring. This dynamic only added to the ongoing discussion about driver performance within Red Bull. The narrative around Ricciardo has favored his return while Tsunoda wrestled with lingering doubts about his standing in the team. Despite this pressure, a new chapter is starting to unfold with prospect Liam Lawson stepping into the spotlight. While Lawson may not be faster than Tsunoda, he has demonstrated enough skill to warrant the attention of Christian Horner and the Red Bull team. Interestingly, Red Bull has shifted their approach in recent times. They now appear more open to allowing drivers the necessary time to adapt and grow, a contrast to the previous rigid expectations. However, this change has not shielded Tsunoda from the frustrations that come with competing at such a high level. Lawson, despite being involved in several on-track incidents upon his return, appears to receive a lighter touch from the team when it comes to accountability compared to Tsunoda's past experiences. As we look to the future, it's clear that significant regulatory changes in 2026 may influence Tsunoda's future with Red Bull. The prospect of becoming restless, much like former teammate Pierre Gasly, looms large. Tsunoda's recent test for Red Bull, which took place due to Honda's insistence, could be seen as a glimmer of hope, but it does not change the team's apparent preferences. Tsunoda must navigate a complex landscape in the coming months. The pressure to perform amidst the emerging talents and shifting dynamics at Red Bull will be pivotal. Fans will be watching closely, as the next steps Tsunoda takes could redefine his trajectory in Formula One, perhaps leading him to seek opportunities beyond his current situation. As we delve into the broader landscape of Formula One, various teams have had strikingly different experiences in the 2024 season. Aston Martin, once a podium contender, is facing struggles to maintain competitiveness. Williams endured a particularly challenging season, recording some of their most dismal performances yet. Sauber, on the verge of exiting the season without scoring any points, experienced a disastrous year. Meanwhile, Alpine's story was filled with ups and downs, showcasing the unpredictable nature of racing. The landscape is constantly changing, and the drive for success remains intense. Fans are left to wonder how these developments will shape the future of their favorite teams and drivers. Whether they find themselves thriving or struggling, the pursuit of excellence within Formula One is an ever-present theme that captures the heart of motorsport. Each driver's journey is unique, and as the season unfolds, we'll continue to witness tales of resilience and ambition on the track. Charles Leclerc delivered an impressive performance on the track. Let's break down all the highlights and some major team shifts that have everyone buzzing in the paddock. In the afternoon session, Andrea Kimi Antonelli took the wheel for Mercedes. He stepped in for Frederic Vesti, who was feeling unwell. Even with the challenges he faced, Antonelli was eager to make the most of this opportunity. Meanwhile, Charles Leclerc was putting on a show, finishing with the fastest time overall, while his fellow driver Carlos Sainz impressively clinched second place in his debut test drive for Williams. As the day progressed, the adrenaline kept surging on the Yas Marina circuit. Carlos Sainz made headlines by topping the morning session during his first outing for Williams, continuing to gather important data before the long winter break. With teams eager to assess their 2024 cars, it was a crucial day for everyone involved. Antonelli, despite battling illness, managed to jump into the Mercedes cockpit, showcasing his determination and skill. His best lap brought him within striking distance of his new teammate George Russell, which bodes well for the future of the Mercedes team. The reliability of the cars throughout the day's testing is worth noting too. They collectively racked up over 2,500 laps, a clear indication of the strong performance from all teams. The times during testing were slightly behind those set during qualifying at the recent race weekend, largely due to the varying conditions on track. As temperatures dipped, drivers took advantage of lower fuel running to push their limits. The excitement ramped up even more when McLaren's reserve driver, Patricio O'Ward, came in with a solid lap time, dethroning Sainz momentarily. But the spotlight clearly belonged to Charles Leclerc. He edged ahead with a stunning lap of 1:23.55.10 as the clock ticked down, reinforcing Ferrari's competitiveness. His effort was just a tenth of a second shy of Sainz's earlier time, marking a fantastic day for the Scuderia Ferrari team. Sharing the track with his brother, Arthur Leclerc, only added to the day's emotional intensity. All in all, this final test at Abu Dhabi was packed with action and provided critical insights into what we might expect from the teams heading into 2024. With drivers and teams settling into their roles, the stage is set for an exhilarating season. As we wrap up this remarkable year in Formula One, we can't help but wonder what the next chapter holds. Stay tuned, as there is plenty more to come as we gear up for the new season. In the thrilling world of Formula One, the anticipation is palpable as we dive into the latest updates and future lineups. With the 2024 season wrapped up, many drivers are already making headlines as they transition to new teams. For instance, Carlos Sainz, Esteban Ocon, and Nico Hülkenberg participated in early team tests, each racking up an impressive number of laps. This early adjustment is crucial for them to familiarize themselves with their new machinery in preparation for the upcoming season. During a recent test session, Hülkenberg showcased his skills by securing a top 5 finish in his Sauber, marking his return to the team as they prepare for their exciting transition to Audi. Young talent Ayumu Iwasa also made waves, landing in the top 6 while driving for the soon-to-be Racing Bulls. The team dynamics are certainly shifting as we look ahead to the 2025 grid. As the testing concluded, it was noteworthy that the teams had a relatively smooth run, with only a brief red flag late in the session. This scenario allowed valuable insights into performance before the real action begins in the new season. Track time is essential, and for many, this was not just a chance to test their cars, but also to build chemistry with their new teams. Speaking of performance, let's break down the Abu Dhabi post-season testing classification to see where the drivers ranked. Leading the pack was Charles Leclerc from Ferrari with an impressive time of 1:23.510, followed closely by Carlos Sainz and George Russell. This testing highlights not just speed, but also endurance as drivers completed over 100 laps in one day. With significant regulatory changes coming in 2026, teams are adapting now more than ever. The landscape of Formula One is evolving, and the anticipation of how these changes will impact the sport is incredibly exciting. Looking at penalties, Max Verstappen currently finds himself at a critical juncture as his track record is scrutinized, particularly after recent incidents. As we reflect on the captivating moments from the 2024 season, we encourage fans to share their favorite highlights and prepare for the adrenaline-pumping action ahead. Your involvement enriches the community, making the world of Formula One even more engaging. So buckle up as we approach the new season. The race for championships, rivalries, and unforgettable moments is just around the corner. Carlos Sainz has officially made his debut in the Williams cockpit during a recent testing session at the Yas Marina circuit. This upcoming season marks a significant transition for Sainz as he moves from Ferrari to a team that has faced many challenges in recent years. It's a bold step, and Sainz is fully aware of the hurdles that lie ahead. In a candid admission, Sainz acknowledged that he won't be fighting for wins and podiums in the next few years with Williams. This statement reflects a realistic understanding of the situation. Williams has struggled in the competitive landscape of Formula One, finishing this past season in 9th place in the Constructors' Championship. The team's last championship titles date back to 1997, making Sainz's task all the more challenging. Despite these obstacles, Sainz heads to the Grove-based team with ambitions to help rebuild the iconic brand. His perspective is rooted in the belief that this project is not just about the present, but about reviving Williams' storied legacy. As he expressed, people might find his excitement puzzling, but it represents an opportunity to be part of something meaningful, a chance to restore a legendary team to its former glory. During the Abu Dhabi postseason testing, Sainz had a promising start. He ended his day second fastest overall, finishing just behind his former Ferrari teammate Charles Leclerc. With an impressive completion of 146 laps, Sainz showed he quickly found his rhythm, even achieving lap times that were 0.2 faster than both Alex Albon and Franco Colapinto, who are set to race in 2024. Nonetheless, Sainz made clear that these impressive numbers came with the caveat of using next season's C5 tires on a prepped track that was fully rubbered in. While the prospect of competing less fiercely is not lost on him, Sainz is eager to tackle this challenge head-on. He sees immense value in the journey ahead, and his determination shines through. "Honestly, people won't believe it and can't imagine how much I'm looking forward to what's to come," he said in an interview with DAZ in Spain. His words illustrate a blend of realism and hope as he charts a path toward improvement. The team at Williams, rich in history yet currently struggling for competitive edge, stands poised at the brink of renewal. Sainz's drive and aspiration to lift the team back into contention could be a turning point. By aligning himself with Williams, he hopes to contribute not only to his personal growth as a driver, but also to the renaissance of this legendary team. As the postseason testing unfolds, all eyes will be on Sainz and his evolution with Williams. Will he be able to breathe new life into the team and inspire others along the way? The upcoming F1 season holds the promise of new challenges and opportunities, and Sainz seems ready to embrace whatever comes next. As he sets out on this journey, the motorsport community will undoubtedly be watching closely, eager to see how this ambitious project unfolds. As Carlos Sainz gears up to leave Ferrari, he's already looking ahead to what his future holds. While he acknowledges that he won't be competing for wins and podiums in the immediate future, he remains unfazed. He reflects on his time with Ferrari, expressing appreciation for the support he received from the team throughout his journey. Sainz candidly shares his perspective on how challenging it can be to navigate the complexities of a season when you're aware that an exit is imminent. Yet, despite those challenges, he's proud of his team's ability to stay focused and perform well, highlighting the resilience that has characterized his final laps with Ferrari. Transitioning from Ferrari to Williams is the next chapter for Sainz. He's excited to be plotting his debut and has already begun to think about the opportunities that await him. His final performance with Ferrari was not just about closure, but also a testament to his capability and strength as a driver, setting the stage for his future endeavors. The motorsport world has always thrived on narratives of competition and growth, and Carlos Sainz's journey embodies these themes. As we look ahead, the anticipation for the head-to-head battles between drivers like Sainz and Leclerc is palpable, promising a season filled with excitement in F1. The road ahead is filled with promise, and fans are eager to see how these transitions unfold. From his days with Ferrari to his new role with Williams, Sainz's journey will surely continue to captivate motorsport enthusiasts everywhere. So buckle up, because the 2024 season is set to be an exhilarating ride, bringing with it new rivalries, challenges, and stories that remind us all why we love F1. Stay tuned, as this journey is just beginning. Sergio Perez has recently opened up about the real reason behind his retirement from the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, putting a spotlight on the reliability issues he faced with his Red Bull RB20 well before his unfortunate clash with Valtteri Bottas. Rumors are swirling that Perez is on his way out at Red Bull, especially following a string of disappointing performances in the 2024 season, including failing to secure a podium finish since April. It's reported that Perez could even be replaced by Liam Lawson, a fresh face with only 11 Grand Prix appearances under his belt. During what might have been his final outing in Formula One, Perez's race ended prematurely when he spun out after contact with Bottas at the chicane. However, further investigation revealed that a suspected transmission issue had already plagued his car, hindering its performance and announcing its impact even before the collision. After the race, Perez candidly shared that he felt a significant drop in power every time he shifted gears. Even commenting on the situation, he indicated that the engine's condition was faltering well before his encounter with Bottas. A slip in the clutch during gear changes was a troubling sign for him, and he felt that this malfunction was going to result in his exit from the race, regardless of the crash. Speaking to Dazian Spain, the driver reflected on the difficulties he faced. "I think the engine was damaged before the touch with Bottas. Every time I changed gear, the clutch slipped." His insights shed light on how mechanical troubles can derail a racer's day and career. In the lead-up to this event, Perez had been focused on fulfilling his commitments to Red Bull, which runs until the end of the 2026 season. Nevertheless, he acknowledged that dialogues with the team have begun regarding the upcoming year, hinting at a possible exit as Red Bull looks to move forward. Furthermore, the former world champion Nico Rosberg has suggested that Perez might seek approximately $16 million in compensation if the team decides to replace him for the 2025 season. In light of these developments, Perez expressed his calmness regarding his future, strongly dismissing claims that a lack of professionalism contributed to his underwhelming performance this season. With such revelations coming from the Mexican driver, one can only wonder what the future holds for Sergio Perez. Despite the challenges he's faced, he maintains that he has poured his heart and soul into the team. As the specter of retirement looms, fans and fellow racers alike will be watching keenly to see where his journey takes him next in the ever-evolving world of Formula One. In a reflective note, the concluding season did not yield the expected results for Sergio Perez. However, he underscores that the lack of success wasn't due to a deficiency in desire or professionalism. Perez stated, "When you give everything and you leave everything you have out there, that's how a sportsman can stay calm, and that's where I stand." Looking ahead, he remains optimistic about his future in Formula One. "I'm calm with whatever comes. We still have a lot to do in F1. I wouldn't say it's the end," he reassures. The support he's received transcends his individual performance. He acknowledges, "This has been much bigger than just one driver. There's a whole country and continent behind me." As speculations swirl regarding his exit from Red Bull, Perez is focused on the remaining moments of his career. "We'll see what happens, but I'm sure it won't be the end," he insisted. Meanwhile, young driver Liam Lawson expressed his readiness to step up and partner with Max Verstappen at Red Bull. Addressing concerns about potentially following in the footsteps of previous drivers who found it challenging alongside Verstappen, he emphasized the uniqueness of each driver's experience. "I believe that going up against Max requires a realistic mindset. He's definitely the fastest guy on the grid right now." Lawson acknowledges the opportunity to learn from a champion. To go up against someone who's won 4 world championships and knows the car well, there's a lot I can gain from that. The data he provides is invaluable, and just having that access is very exciting for me. As drivers like Perez navigate uncertainty, and newcomers like Lawson look to establish their presence, the landscape of Formula One continues to evolve. It's a thrilling time for fans and athletes alike, with numerous potential stories unfolding on the horizon. Stay tuned for more insights and updates as the F1 season progresses, showcasing the fierce determination and aspirations of those behind the wheel. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.